Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Yeah, I told you all that I would have him back. Ryan, welcome back. Always good to be along. I actually, alongside of you, actually anticipated you to be back Wednesday night, but now here we are late on to Monday night. So this is Monday night heading into Tuesday morning. I can just hear the Yukon Nation up there up north, right? Just snoring away. Can't you hear everybody snoring right about now? It just seems like it's no pressure when we go on this late because it's just Ryan and I up this late at night, all the time, going on midnight. So, Ryan, I appreciate you joining me. Just a quick note. I want to shout out kind of off topic as far as the Huskies go, but Jake Eisenberg, Jacob Russo, Monica McNutt, and Amber Teo Harris. I had the honor to sit in with them, Ryan, earlier today. I thought about you. I want to thank all four of them for just an experience to never forget, and hopefully that's not the last time that I come across those four wonderful people. Um, so Ryan, to get into the topic tonight, so I received a notification, right, and I'm like, man, I don't know if we can wait, Ryan, until Wednesday for the game recap. I feel like this is like a double game recap coming on with you tonight. But anyhow, get a little bit of your take on what you thought of the last game, and then the new AP women's poll came out. Texas rises to highest ranking since 2022. LSU moves up 4 places to number 9, but I was a little bit surprised to see. Now, I'm not doubting these Huskies, but as far as the love, Lindsey Matthews talked about it. The love that the AP poll puts out for the Huskies uh, uh um hasn't been so fashionable or so flashy this season, right? Like always in past 10, 20 years. So they landed at number 10, Ryan. And the question is on this specific video, everybody like the video, comment away. This is one that we want to hear y'all. Mailbag questions, Ryan. That's what we call them, mailbag questions. Are the UConn Huskies really a legitimate top 10 team in the country?
Yeah, well, of course, like you said, the new AP poll came out today, and they are ranked at number 10 once again. And once again, too, winning the regular season Big East title, the UConn Huskies did on Sunday night with their win against the Blue Demons. Hard to believe with just 2 games left, of course, and if they win those 2 games, it's hard to believe that they'll actually go a perfect 18-0 in conference play. So that's definitely pretty impressive. I can say that I didn't expect them to go a perfect undefeated record in the Big East for the regular season, but yeah, they've definitely been dominating the conference so far. But number 10, I think it's definitely a respectable ranking.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they're pretty worthy of the spot in my opinion. I kind of do think they're the 10th best team in the country right now. Of course, they did lose to NC State. I believe they're ranked, what, 12th right now. So you could make the argument maybe UConn should be 11th, maybe they should be 12th. But I think with the way they're playing right now, you can definitely make the argument that UConn is in the right spot at number 10. I think it's been pretty respectable and pretty fair with the AP poll the whole entire season in terms of where UConn has been ranked. I think the AP poll has been pretty fair in terms of UConn's ranking so far this season. But um, of course, my only concern is, and it's been this way kind of the whole season. UConn has yet to beat a team ranked in the top 15, so it kind of does make me a little
Yeah.
nervous as March approaches when the level of
Mm-hmm.
competition continues to rise, especially if UConn makes another trip back to the Sweet 16 and perhaps they have to play a team like NC State again or LSU, USC, a team like that. I certainly think it's possible they can beat a team of that level, but right now my confidence level just isn't too high yet. But nonetheless, it's been certainly another great season overcoming all these injuries again. UConn having an entire starting lineup of players on the bench out for the year, and to still be ranked in the top 10 is pretty amazing. Not to mention the four freshmen who have been killing it and making a huge impact for the whole entire year.
And you're right. You said, yeah. And you said about earlier we were texting, and I told you, I mean, tell them right now our conversation because you know they'll love it. I told you, Ryan, it just seems like, you just wake up less than like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, just like very quickly. You go to bed and wake up right away, and something just feels different all of a sudden. I mean, I was surprised to see, now not paying that much attention to the AP poll, but I was actually surprised to see them move up 5 spots. Again, a lot of times this season Huskies win, they move up a spot or they stay at their respective ranking. But today, which was hopefully everybody will catch this on Tuesday morning, but earlier today, which was Monday, yeah, moved up 5 spots. So other than the number one team, should we even say who that is, Ryan? You have Ohio State. Of course, we know what happened last season. You have Texas at number 3, Stanford number 4. And then you go down to number 6, Iowa. That is a little bit, I don't know. That has, so again, with the whole quotation or whatever, the motto says, you never know, never know what can happen in March. That's why they call it a madness month, right? A madness month.
Yeah.
It seems like these teams, man, they can be beat. They can be beat. Let me tell you, because how long ago, it just seemed like the other day you was getting Caitlin Clark in the press conference room saying we have to stop blowing leads or somewhere around that. Did you say something like that? So they've been having their troubles blowing late game leads that they've had. So yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know if you agree, but I think a lot of these teams can lose. Obviously, except for that number one, but I think that's very fitting. As much as I don't like to say it, kind of that number one team right there. I don't think that. Yeah, it's other than them. I think any team can drop off. Believe it or not. Yeah, I just said it in March when it comes to UConn opponents. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden we're on the edge of our seats in the like Elite Eight round.
Yeah, I mean, I would certainly agree with that. I mean, just looking at these top 10, I mean, even all the teams ranked in the top 15 right now have definitely had their struggles. Of course, like you mentioned, other than South Carolina, but they have maybe one or two games where they struggled a little bit. Turn the TV on, maybe thinking they'd lose, and they end up winning by about 10 or 15. But yeah, I mean, just Texas continues to amaze me. Rory Harmon went out season-ending injury probably about 2 months ago, and to see them with only 3 losses, ranked third, pretty impressive. Of course, Ohio State, a lot of returning players, I think. So, yeah, I kind of expect them to make another deep run. Honestly, I know Caitlin Clark is obviously the best player in the country, but I haven't really been too high on them for the whole entire season. I think they lost a lot of players from last year, and it just kind of seems like they're not really the complete team that they were last season. So I certainly think they'll make another deep run, but I think they could also get maybe upset earlier than what a lot of people think. But I'm just glad, the level of competition for the women's game has grown so much over the years. It makes for so many more competitive games throughout the regular season, so many more upsets in March Madness. So the field this year, for sure, once again, is definitely wide open. I think there's going to be a ton of upsets that no one expects in March.
All right, let's go over to comments, Ryan. Marcia Clark. This was a great win. She said, saw many good things. I've been so impressed with the freshmen this year. This team looks like they are starting to play a full team game at the right time. I'm excited to see how they do in March, and you never know how far they can get. That's why you play the game. Now's the chance for Ryan to join in with Marcia Clark to tell us what he thought of that last one. Over 100 points, Ryan.
Yeah, it was definitely a good one. And of course, Paige scoring 30, Aaliyah grabbing a season high 17 rebounds, all the starters getting over double digit points. So, like you said, like you were texting me earlier, said said during the game recap, it's good to see UConn starting to play team basketball. It really seems like they're meshing really well, and that's what we saw last year. Around the same time, kind of after the Big East tournament, is when UConn really seems to take it up a notch, take it to another level, and really go into March with a lot of motivation, a lot of momentum. So yeah, it's definitely good to see UConn playing at this level at this time of year. So hopefully they can keep it up. And yeah, like I said, maybe they'll have an upset of their own in March and make a deeper run than what we're even expecting.
All right, listen, Adam Edmonds, if you take a look at his profile picture, Ryan, he's going to know, you're going to know what I'm talking about. He's going to know. Adam has to tell us, I'm nosy like that, Ryan. I apologize. He has to tell us, I guess this is his girlfriend or his wife, and then him standing in this beautiful picture of them two. It looks like that they just finished at the ESPY Awards, Ryan, on the red carpet. All right. So I don't know if he is an undercover actor or she's an actress, but look, we would love to, or I would love to hear what's going on there. It looks like he won some kind of award. So it looks like, hey, Ryan, I mean, you never know. Maybe Ryan can step on the Hollywood stage one of these days. Adam Edmonds can hook him up. He goes, yo, listen, uppers. Glad to see the Huskies rolling again, but with the Big East being relatively weak this year, how high do you guys think we can climb the seedings for March Madness? I think a 1 seed is out of reach, but maybe we could sneak a 2.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was kind of expecting a 3 seed. I think I believe UConn was either a 3 or 4 in the last bracketology that I saw, but with them ranked 10th, it kind of looks possible that they might sneak in at a 2 seed possibly. But I'm kind of expecting a 3 seed. I think a 3 seed is kind of fair for UConn, but like I told you earlier as well when we were texting, it kind of all depends on, who's in UConn's region, what seed UConn's going to get. We can kind of, see to expect, who UConn can play in the Sweet 16, in the Elite Eight, if they make it that far. So it's definitely going to get interesting. But yeah, I'm kind of expecting UConn to be at a 3 seed.
Janet Adams, great assessment, Phil. I do appreciate that. Thank you a lot. Ryan, we'll leave it off with this one. I know we have a special guest with us on Wednesday. I think that we do. Anyhow, you informed me of that. So let's not tell anybody who it is. Let's just leave off with this comment. Hint, hint. And I think you might know, Ryan. Jason D'Amico goes blowout win, but again, if DePaul hits a few more wide open shots here and there, this is a completely different ball game. The great teams do not miss wide open layups or threes. There are gapping holes in our defense that are leaving opponents with true looks at the hoop. Top ranked teams are going to look at the film and exploit these deficiencies in March if they are not taken care of. We are a good team, but to be a threat in March, two things need to happen: better team defense. Paige needs to get her 3-ball confidence back. Her consistent 3-ball opens up Aaliyah in the paint. I also acknowledge that UConn is almost playing Iron Woman basketball again. That definitely takes a toll. Peace. So see, Ryan, I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know until it's a final score. But, them playing their hearts out now, especially down the stretch. I think I ask you how many games in the Big East tournament. I can never remember. Hopefully not a lot, because I think that this break will really come in good. They'll need it. They'll need it because if I think I told you it's St. Patrick's Day is Selection Sunday.
Yeah, I believe so. I think UConn might only have to play 2 games for the Big East tournament. It's either 2 or 3. I know they don't have to play the first round, but
So you're
yeah, I
not
can.
telling me it's like a week of games, like full of like 7 games in a week. No, good thing.
Yeah, I can never remember whether it's 2 or 3, but either way, yeah, I mean, I think you could kind of say that about a couple of the UConn losses as well. Perhaps if UConn makes a couple of their wide open shots, converts on a couple more offensive trips, defensive possessions. I think some of those games could have been a lot closer. Of course, for me, the game that still haunts me is the Notre Dame loss. So that was definitely a tough one to swallow. But yeah, I mean, I think, UConn's definitely meshing at the right time. Definitely still, like Jason mentioned, a couple things that they can clean up, and I think they definitely will. But, I kind of think for UConn to beat some of these teams that are ranked above them, if they do face them in March, I think UConn's almost going to have to play perfect basketball, mistake-free basketball. Not a lot of turnovers, great defense. A lot of high offensive efficiency. So it's definitely not going to be easy. It's going to be tough, but I think if there's one team that could do it, it's probably going to be UConn.
All right, UConn, Ryan, UConn. Get ready. The final two games of the regular season coming up. Now I can say last night I said it, so let me repeat myself again. I will see everyone along with Ryan tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Villanova and UConn. Immediately following Ryan, the game recap on Listen Up.